draft for running backs went back in April of 2021. Najee Harris was the Doak Walker Award winner, the consensus best running back in the draft. The Steelers took him 24th overall. Remember that the Jags used one of their Jalen Ramsey draft picks to take Travis Etienne, who couldn't make it out of August because of a Liz Frank injury. Obviously, this is not going to be a fair assessment of where he might get drafted if we did it all over again, because we've never seen him play an NFL game that mattered. Javonte Williams then was the only second-round running back of the April draft. And then we waited for the third round for Trey Sermon, who has subsequently been completely buried in San Francisco. And then 5 running backs went in the fourth round, Michael Carter highest among them. If we could do it over again, here's the top 5 I think we should have gotten in reverse order. Actually, I've started out by lying. My number 5 running back on this list would be Khalil Herbert, who went with a 6th round compensation pick, 217th overall. We only got a brief taste of Herbert while David Montgomery was injured, but we did, on this channel, a whole video that dug into what Herbert had shown. We will link to it here. The Bears certainly have not seemed inclined to use Herbert in any kind of mix with Montgomery just yet, but that doesn't change how much I liked the glimpses we did get. But just so you don't feel shortchanged, I'll tell you who my number 6 running back would be, Elijah Mitchell, the other running back drafted by the 49ers, 6th round, 194th overall pick. As of our recording this, he's second among rookie running backs in rushing yards and scrimmage yards. For fantasy football, you certainly can't complain, and the Niners have to be happy too. Mitchell has 27 carries in each of his past 2 games. I'll get into why some of Mitchell's numbers are sort of fool's gold in a second, but this early 6-yard gain in Week 12 encapsulates the good and some limitations when it comes to Mitchell. Surprise, the 49ers are zone blocking on this carry, kind of what they do. The linemen all fire left with the intention of standing up defenders and giving the running back multiple options to make one cut and go. The O-lineman that you'll see here not do his job is right guard Daniel Brunskill. He fires left. He's supposed to shove number 92, defensive tackle James Lynch, to the left, but you'll see Lynch beats his block. Here's something Mitchell does well and consistently. You can see him planting his right foot to cut even as Lynch is beating his block, which tells me that Mitchell has good vision. He's translating what's happening right in front of him and processing that information quickly. Now, something Mitchell isn't as good at is what comes next. He's made his first cut, and he sees number 55 Anthony Barr in his new path, and once again, he processes that and realizes he's got to go left. That's when the eventual tackler, Harrison Smith, comes his way. A special player with special lateral agility, he might bounce that again to the left. Khalil Herbert, to me, showed that he has that one final move. Number 4 on my list that we're going to get to in a minute definitely does. With Mitchell, I think that's sort of his limit. Now, Mitchell has gotten some amazing blocking this year, and I'll get to that. But if we go back to Week 1, okay, this is an insanely large hole to run through, no question. But if Mitchell had a calling card at all as a prospect out of Louisiana Lafayette, it was decent, if not exactly star quality, speed. And here we have a good NFL test right away. A safety tries to take an angle on you as you break into the clear, and does he misjudge because he hasn't accounted for how fast you are? And in this case, number 25 Will Harris definitely does misjudge. Another example of this on a rainy Monday game against the Colts. Ignore for a second how much room Mitchell gets near the line and just watch him take on safety Andrew Zendejo, number 42. Not a great player, but not slow. And Mitchell clearly shows he's got the gas to set up Zendejo and sprint around him, and it winds up in a touchdown. Now, Mitchell can finish off a run. He's direct, and he definitely wants to be physical, but he's a smaller back without any real extreme athletic traits. And when things aren't blocked up, as on this 3rd and 1, generally he's not going to move the pile. The fact is, stats are a difficult way to judge in Mitchell's case because his line is wrecking people, running inside zone over and over and making it so that sometimes Mitchell doesn't even really have to make his one cut and go. He can just go. You can see he routinely gets so much time to gather himself and find a lane and doesn't usually do that much special with that lane. I think he's another in a long line of just fine 49ers running backs. And they will get people super excited because of their numbers, and then eventually and kind of quickly get kind of discarded for a replaceable model. Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Alfred Morris, Jeff Wilson. So I'm going to put Elijah Mitchell 6th on this list of the rookie running backs in my redraft of them, with Khalil Herbert 5th. Number